Hello. Come on in. Welcome to the Library of Horror Hotel. Once again, it's time for Creepy Cheapies, where we take a look at the best in affordably priced and well-made and cool monster masks. As I said, come on in. Pull up a thumbtack and sit down. It's time for today's monster. You know, one of the better monsters of the latter day period of cinema, not the old days with Frankenstein and the Wolfman, but more like monsters that came along later who were great, I think. One of the more popular guys was the Predator. Yeah. And those movies have been around since the late 80s. And there have been, sequels and remakes. No, I don't know that there's been a remake, but there were sequels and prequels and all that stuff involving the Predator. And I always thought he was an especially great monster. He's definitely one of the more memorable creatures of the era created by Hollywood makeup geniuses. And he might object to my referring to him as a monster because on his planet, he's supposed to look like that. But when he's here on Earth, we kind of see him as a monster, But been a bunch of masks of him made over the years, too. But today, I should like to bring to your attention this lovely version of the Predator from the folks at Fun Costumes. What? Fun Costumes, aka fun.com. Very easy to find online. They came out with this brand new version of Predator in 2025. And now, why am I excited about one more Predator mask when there have been so many of them? Well, let me tell you. The thing is an entirely different monster. He's a hand in a box that lives with the Addams family. But the thing about this particular mask happens to be, for one thing, it's very affordable. You can score one of these for around $60 Earth money, okay, as of 2025. And I was very impressed with several things here. Again, many Predator masks have been done over the years, but either they were super expensive, very, very high-end that not everybody could afford, very deluxe, and not very good for wearing, not really made with wearability in mind. They were more for display. This one you can actually wear. I don't know if you can tell, but he's got little eye cuts above his beady little yellow eyes there. So it's pretty well done. You could actually wear this. And some of the wearable ones that have been made over the years by other companies like Distortions and Rubies and everybody else. Some of the others had either these dreadlocks, or in his case, they're predlocks. You get it? Predlocks, because they're predators. Dad, you see what I did? Yeah, thank you. I'll be here all week. Don't try the lobster. It hurts his feelings. Cannibalism, Yeah, he's a crustacean. Sure he is. But this lovable space crustacean does not have a limitation in terms of the predlocks being sculpted flat down to the head. Now, they are in the back. These are all molded in, and you can't, flop them around. But the people at fun.com have really put some effort into the planning of making this a practical and wearable mask while keeping it affordable. These three predlocks right here are separate pieces put on to the mask, because you could never get that out of a mold unless you were like the Zagonis. They might be able to figure it out, but nobody could get that out of a mold and get it looking this good. So you get these nice quality, and they're pretty thick too. They're not all thin and floppy. They're pretty good in terms of casting and thickness and even finishing. I didn't do this. They come with these little gold flourishes painted on there. And they did a marvelous job of blending them in. Look how natural that looks, okay? Look how seamless that is, as far as he has these things hanging down the back, and then he has on the side some that hang loose. Hang loose there, Predator. How great is that? And how do I know Predator is one of the most popular monsters ever? Well, I'll tell you, back in the days when we did horror hotel tours, a couple of years we would have a little questionnaire at the end that people could fill out if they felt like it. And on that questionnaire, just out of curiosity, I put a question on there like, what was your favorite monster, meaning life-size figure that we had here at the hotel. What was your favorite one of the monsters you saw during your tour of Horror Hotel, during your walkthrough visit? And a heck of a lot of people, way out in front, to my surprise, actually, a lot of people. I learned several things. I learned, for one thing, that he's one of the most popular monsters with the general populace because lots and lots of people picked him. And the other thing I learned is that people are really bad spellers and can come up with about 418 ways to spell predator. It's not that hard a word, you guys. It's spelled pretty much like it sounds, but the questionnaires would say predator and predator and predator and predator and, you know, creditor, editor, podiatrist, all kinds of words on there misspelled, as to the point where I would be really impressed when somebody would spell predator correctly. It'd be, oh, spelled predator correctly, an intellectual. But anyway, everybody loves the predator because he is such a cool dreadlocked crustacean. And another great thing about this mask, I think you can see, speaking of Zagoni style stuff, he's sculpted with these mandibles actually sticking out into the air as opposed to sculpted flat back to make it easier to get out of a mold, like many of the mass marketed predator masks in the past have had. He's got, and these, you see these, he's got the mandibles and these two big pincher teeth, these two big fangs. Look at that. That actually goes out into the air just like on the real predator masks in the movie. I'm going to try to show you what I mean with, look how impressive that is. For $60, really? That's fantastic. And as you can see, the paint detail even continues on down to where it wouldn't really necessarily have to, and where many predator masks wouldn't bother, but they put a few dots on there. And another thing I like about this guy, in addition to the separately molded predlocks and the fact that he's got this great open mouth with so much depth to it, another thing I like about him is that, again, I have to hold this up for you to get a good look. As you can see, they have stenciled on a lot of the speckles and spots on the top of his head. Now, which is genius. This would take forever for a pro mask painter to achieve a look this close to how they look at the Predator movies. So this is an amazing thing. And to blend it in and make it look a little more like in the movies, they have airbrushed some spots and speckles on there, on beyond where the stenciled stuff is. So you get a nice blend of, you know, the plain, smooth part of the even colored part of the head, and then working up into these little speckles and then these stenciled blotches. And it just looks really cool, and it looks very natural in person. And he's got high gloss eyes, black with little yellow pupils, and I didn't do anything there. That's how it came. I didn't do anything to the paint on the mouth. That's how it came. You got your red and pink and black back in there. And another great thing is whether you're going to wear this or use it for display, it's got a little bit of the collar sculpted on. That's even kind of a bonus. I mean, they could have just cut it off there, but no, they give you a little bit of his, can you see that? His rubber collar that's sort of like a series of bands, a series of straps around the neck. So great mask, and I think wearable with your Predator costume. You can get Predator costumes. I don't know how great the commercially made Predator suits are. I haven't seen them in person up close and tried to wear one or put it on a mannequin or something. So I'm not sure how great they are. You might need to find one and customize it a little bit. I don't know. Or you could just make your own and start from scratch. Or you could go for Halloween as the first Predator who just wears a t-shirt and a hoodie and some jeans. And you'd look silly. But maybe you want to look silly. You never know. But this is the excellent 2025 Predator, which sold for around 60 bucks, maybe higher than that by the time you see them. Maybe it's like 75 or 80 bucks. But even so, fantastic for the price. And kudos to the weirdos at fun.com for coming up with this lovely, lovely monster, the Predator. Predator. Well, I'm used to looking at all those different spellings, and well,